Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to your Aunties Could Never episode 113. I'm Auntie AK and I am here with
Auntie Farah,
Auntie Nana,
and Auntie Sade.
Hello, 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 my ladies. Hello, everybody watching. How are you? And what's been the highlight of your day?
Can we not change that to week or?
Well, it can be week with Monday. It's Monday. I can say week or day. It's whatever you feel like talking about. What's been a good thing? Doesn't have to be deep.
I will go. So the highlight for me was yesterday, not only being my birthday, I'll go into that later on inside my grad, but because I managed to demonstrate that I am a spectacular wing woman, and I facilitated numbers being exchanged, and so I'm very proud of myself that was that people were able to see that I'm really good at this dating thing. So yeah, that was
like, okay. I don't know, because we need to see your track record, your tally, your chart of success rate and stuff like that. Don't fix your face. What's your success rate?
What?
As a matchmaker, wing woman.
They got numbers.
How many times has that happened?
All the time somebody will allow me.
The amount of times I've been out with you, I've never had a number.
That was my reasoning to say.
You managed to get a number in New York.
Wow.
Remember that guy?
Wow.
What's number? Do not lie.
He was a young dude.
Do not lie. This is a lie. This is on camera lie.
This is literally just this happened. A young guy. When we was in New York for Afropunk, he stopped outside of the bodega. We came out, and you wasn't really gonna chat to him. And I was like, but he's quite good looking. And then you took
this is a whole lie.
It actually happened. I'm not even lying.
I've never had an American number from any guy.
In New York. The young guy. Black dude. Really tall.
Obviously it was black. Farah, Auntie Farah, have I ever said to you, Faz, oh my God, there's this nice guy that I got a number from in New York when I was with Nana? Thank you.
I would
message the girl.
To back you up, I've been out with you, Nana. I don't have no numbers. So what
you don't allow me to.
What are you saying?
All right, so are you going to allow me to do it now?
Do your thing.
Okay, there we go. So
I don't have to respond to them, but if you think you're a bad girl out here, do your thing, innit?
All right.
And also, all Auntie Nana's family and friends who are watching, can you please give us receipts onto how many times she's been a successful wing woman and got you pertinent numbers that has led to satisfactory and fulfilling relationships as an end result?
Send in your comments. There's probably one or two of them that can verify.
I'm giving Nana a prop. She done her thing, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not removing that, but she's claiming title that she's good at certain things, and so far the evidence.
I am. Most people just don't allow me to do it, but I'm actually good at it.
Yeah. We'll watch this space.
Okay, who else? What else? What's been good in your day, girls? Bring some joy to the world.
So today, I actually, for work, I had the chance to visit like the Notting Hill Carnival Tabernacle place where Mangrove are based, and it was just really cool because Carnival's back this year. I'm lucky enough to be working on aspects of it, kind of thing. So I'm really excited. And it was you was excited about being in the ends, basically, huh? Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was all right. It was all right. Everything's far, but it was cool. It was cool. But like just going, like walking around the area, do you know what I mean? Like and like seeing some of the history and stuff. So good, isn't it? Cool. Yeah. I had lovely there, isn't it? I had a good time. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, that's me. And also the weekend was amazing, but we can talk about that later, or maybe in Patreon.
Go on first.
I ain't got one.
Yeah, you have a highlight of today, not a good thing. Not
a good thing, not a bad thing, not a highlight. I don't think. I can't think of one. Soz.
And for me, I got through some good meetings and I hit some deadlines, and that was it. So I'm very happy about that because those deadlines are important, and I'm very impressed that I met them. And so on. Oh, and I put out a fire. I think I can talk about this. Yeah, we had an interview with Kiki Palmer scheduled today, and there was a mix-up with communications, and where we thought it was an online interview, it was actually a face-to-face interview. And so it was like, the PR was like, where's your journalist? And I was like, I don't know. And then we had to sort it out. But we managed to get it rescheduled and put on Zoom for later on in the day. And then my journalist said it was a good interview. So that will be coming out soon. Look out for it on British Blacklist. Kiki Palmer's voice.
That means that they really wanted to be interviewed by you guys. They respected it, because they would have just been like, bomb you if you couldn't even be bothered to know when the interview was.
Exactly. That's a good thing. And so, Kiki Palmer's voicing one of the characters in Buzz Lightyear. And that was what the interview is based upon. So look out for that. Will be coming soon.
Not Buzz Lightyear. It's just Lightyear.
Okay, Lightyear. My bad. But you know what I meant. Lightyear. It's coming out soon. And so keep an eye on the British Blacklist for the interview. So that made me happy. Put out fires. So, guys, welcome to Aunties Could Never. It's a podcast for cool aunties and uncles everywhere, where you hear no nonsense, straight talkings, and lots of fun stuff. Get your plates, get your drinks, and let's start the show. Auntie Farmer, warm us up, kid. Warm us up. Warm us up, kid.
Why do I feel like there's more to your intro?
I don't know.
It should be.
Bro, leave me alone. It's fine. It
is, but I just always feel like that throws me. Like I'm waiting for more, and there isn't.
Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't.
See, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so today, if I can find the line.
I'm actually dying, guys. I don't know what's going on, but
what's wrong with you? You're coughing.
Yeah. It could be hay fever getting to your chest. I had a slight asthma. Oh, I'll talk about it later. I had a slight asthma coughing attack as well. The pollen's high these days.
It's true, actually.
The pollen's high and the sun is low. What kind of foolishness is that? Anyway, let's go.
Okay, so today I thought we'd do Guess the Lyric.
Okay.
I know, Auntie Nana took a big gulp. Big gulp. So it's Guess the Lyric R&B songs. Okay, are you ready? I might help you out with the artist if you don't get it at first. And you have to buzz in, basically.
Oh, how?
I'll make a little tally. I'll make a little tally of who's winning.
Do we do a ding?
No, just say your name, because otherwise it will get complicated.
I want to find a buzzer sound.
You want to find a buzzer sound? If you can find a buzzer sound, then we could do that. But I don't know about Auntie Nana or Auntie AK's flipping acapella version.
All right, okay.
You know what I'm saying, innit?
They're gonna be like Nino.
Yeah, Nino. Be some shit like that.
Can we get it again?
I got a buzzer sound.
Okay, cool. No, wait. Tell me what your buzzer sounds are. Otherwise, I'm going to be confused. Okay, that's yours, Nana, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ding.
No.
Mine's going to be ding.
What was that?
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Right, shut up. Okay, cool. All right. What old school R&B artist names completes the following phrase? I can't sleep at night when you're on my mind. Blank is on the radio. Al Green, Rick James, Marvin Gaye, or Bobby Womack?
What?
Do you need a hint? Songs by Mariah Carey.
Sad songs or slow songs on the radio?
Songs by Mariah Carey.
Yes. Oh, Bobby Womack. Yes. I didn't buzz. Sorry.
But I'll give you that.
I buzzed.
Okay.
Bobby Womack.
Bobby Womack is the correct
on
answer.
the radio. That's from If You Think You're Lonely Now. I know that song. Yes, it's from the Emancipation of Mimi album.
It's the song of her and Snoop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that song.
Yeah.
Let's use that cover of that.
All up in my hand.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Next one. Hold on. Where did it go? I'm sorry. This is being really slow today. Ah! I've lost it. Oh, wait. Here we go. Right.
Can't we just shout out? It's easier.
You can if I can find the flipping quiz. I don't know where it's gone. It's this. Oh, wait. Sorry, it's gone off my phone. Right. Montel Jordan's song. This is how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the shore because I'm faded. Honey's in the street. Blank. Yo, we made it.
Honey, saying
Made it.
Made it. Honey should say, what are they saying? Say Montel, yeah, we made it.
Isn't it yo?
No, it's something about
Yo.
Honey,
Yeah.
we made it.
No.
Yo, honey, we made it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so confused by all of you. All right, AK, what did you say?
I said, honey, yo, made it. I don't know. I don't know.
Auntie Charlie, what did you say?
Honey's in the street saying, Montel, yo, we made it.
Auntie Nana, what did you say?
I said, honey's in the street saying, yo, Montel, we made it.
None of you were right because the
Okay.
answer is money.
Money.
You know, I missed that, you know. After you said
I
that,
said, yeah,
honey, yo, we made it. It's money.
Yeah, now you're going to all say you knew
That's
it.
why you hear it in context. You do remember.
Okay, next one. Tony Braxton, you're making me high. The very thought of you makes me want to get blank.
Undressed.
It was you. You did it, buzz in.
Undressed.
All my worst songs. So
Okay, next one. Mary J. Blige, Real Love.
Okay.
When I met you, I just knew that you would take my heart and run until you told me how you blank. You said I'm not the one. Got the triangles back. No!
Fell for me.
Correct, Auntie.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Fucking triangle. It's correct. Okay, last one.
Mm-hmm.
Cisco, Thong Song. I hate
Mm-hmm.
this song, by the way.
Oh my God. You would have
She likes to dance at all the hip hop spots and cruise to the streets and connect the dots. Now, just urban, she
likes to
Isn't it living la vida loca?
live in the vida. She likes to something.
no, because she like not just urban, she blank because she was living la vida loca.
Oh,
She likes to fuck, I think, but I think that's what he was trying to say. She likes to bop, dance.
There you go.
That's it.
Pop.
is it dance?
There you go. Pop. All right. So out of that, Auntie Nana got 0, Auntie AK got 1, and Auntie Charlie got 3.
Come on. Come on. Mess with me.
The winner here is a triangle.
Why are you still pressing the button?
Like, why are you still pressing the buzzer?
That was my protest sound.
All right, you can done with the triangle now, bro.
How is it just a hand as well? That's the always ready.
All right, guys. Auntie Shada, he welcome me to the family.
Okay, right. Like I said, I'm so prepared, but I did think of someone that we can welcome to the family, which is Rachel Finni. I think that's how you say her surname.
Yay!
Contestant on Love Island, and I just want to just give her just send her some auntie love because she had to deal with some bullshit last week, and it was just unnecessary. So basically, in a nutshell, some ex-contestants, guys, were talking about her on the live, totally unprovoked, and basically were just kind of talking about her looks in a derogatory way, right? And they're just laughing at her, which is unnecessary. So unprovoked. And I just think, you know what? She wasn't in the show for that long. She wasn't she didn't disgrace herself in any sort of way, apart from a little dinosaur walk, but she laughs about that. But, I think that, she's just a generally cool girl that just seems to just try to be doing her thing. And she didn't deserve that at all. So I would like to send her some auntie love, welcome her to the family. And I just think well done to you for just holding it together,
Yeah, well done.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome.
Did one of the guys apologize?
All of them.
Two of them have. Well,
Yeah.
all of them? I think
all of them have done
yeah,
apologies.
but it's PR apologies, and she came out and said look, some of you are still trying to get through to me. I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean? So it's just PR stuff. But I don't think apologies cut it. It's just unnecessary. Do you know what I mean?
And you know what? Bun the black boys involved in that conversation. That's what I say. Sorry.
It's very disappointing.
It is disappointing. And then you've got Faye jumping in and saying, "Yeah, did you see it?"
Who's Faye? I don't know.
No, absolute audacity. Faye's remember we spoke about her, the white woman last year who shouted at Teddy, the black guy, the Nigerian dude.
Oh, her.
On that tirade. From nowhere comes with her woe is me Like, I understand, because, you know, I was one of the most hated people in Britain
Oh,
when and you know, you're like, who was talking to you, Faye?
What to do with you?
Just
Honestly.
jumps in. Oh,
all right, let's get the comments. How annoying.
Yeah, so hi everybody. Gracious greatness. Hi, T says good evening, aunties.
Hi.
T says loving your hair, Auntie Nana.
Yes, very lovely.
Very, very nice. Gracious 8 said auntie should use a school bell, not a triangle.
What's a triangle?
Don't get us started.
What's a triangle?
And Ronald says hello, ladies.
Hi, Ronald. Okie dokie. As you're listening to the show, please add your reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and wherever else you listen, please leave your comments. Who's reading out the comments? That some of the lovely comments that we've had left on the show. Is that you, Auntie Nana, or Auntie Sade, or me, or Farah? Is that for me to read? Sorry, I just seen them appear on the script.
You don't put them there.
No, I put them there. Sorry,
Then you should read them.
Okay, I'll read them. So these are some lovely comments that came in from Patreon. And the episode that is currently up on there, our exclusive episode, is The Auntie Survived Red Pilling. And Miss K says, great episode. I swear I would have been Auntie Sade eyeing up the exit hard. If you do go back on that podcast, I hope Sarah Garvey is on it. That's a debate I'd love to watch. And Ronald says, great show, ladies. Please return to that snake pit. Now you know what to expect. You'll be a loaded for bear. And the definition of loaded for bear is to be prepared mentally or physically for extreme opposition, typically used in reference to an aggressive or potentially violent situation.
We should see, because it definitely was a violent situation. What I was watching, there was a big old attack. So as mentioned, that was from our very first special exclusive second exclusive Patreon episode called Auntie Survived the Red Pill, and you're only going to get to see it if you sign up. We have 3 tiers. Make your choice. And to those of us who want to join, for those of you who want to join the Patreon family, what we're trying to do is build a big old family gathering. We want you to come along with us on our journey to building a bigger, better show for you, where we can get in a studio, where we can be lit beautifully. So you just bless you with more auntie presents. So
help us help you.
Yes, help us help you be better people. But yes, so sign up. The site is.
I've also got, sorry to interrupt you, I've also got a really good name for the Patreon now. I've literally just come up with it, but I won't mention it in here. I'll mention it in our Patreon.
Okay, so patreon.com/your aunties could never. Time to move on to what have you heard, news and culture. This is where we get into what's popping in the news and cultural streets. I'm actually up first, so I'm going to continue talking. I don't know which one to go for. Guys, help me out in the comments. You got 2 seconds to help me out. Swedengate. I don't know if you guys heard about Swedengate. And basically, a black woman talked about her time in Sweden, and how actually in Sweden, if you're invited as a guest, they're not expected to feed you. You're supposed to sit there and wait for them to finish dinner before you can resume visiting. I wanted to talk about that. Or Jack Harlow. There was a story, an interview that he did where he talked about how he loved black women and how he celebrates black women and he uplifts black women and he owes his whole career to black women because black women have held him down. And there seems to be a conversation about the need to be validated by Jack Harlow. Should we care about what Jack Harlow says? Is he saying the right thing? Is it just PR? Is it just lip service? I don't know. So I don't know what to talk about. I think both are very interesting. What do you want to listen? What do you want to talk about?
I don't mind talking about the Swedish thing, because what do you mean you don't get fed? Me and you's fighting. So I come to your house and I watch you eat. Huh?
Basically.
And is she talking for the whole of Sweden? Because surely that can't be the case.
Well, so I didn't know what I was going to go through, so I'm a little less prepared. So based on Swedengate, right? So this woman, let me find it and get the whole facts, because I had a different story up right there. But yeah, no, basically this woman was saying that in Sweden, traditionally, there's a culture where when you go and visit, and even as a child, going to have a play date, the family's not expected to feed you. You're supposed to wait quietly whilst they eat or do anything family oriented whilst you're there. They don't stop their family show for you. you'll sit quietly, maybe in the bedroom or somewhere else, whilst they eat family dinner, and then when they finish, your friend or whatever you're doing will resume. That's their culture. Another person on the thread said that they were asked to bring their sheets when staying at a friend's house in Sweden. Also, there's another thing where when they go to family functions, like parties or barbecues and stuff like that, people are expected to bring their own drinks and nurse their own drinks. So if you bring bottles, it's quite fine for you to stand around your bottles of drink and make sure you are the only person that drinks them, and anyone else who drinks from your collection of drinks is because you've actually graciously invited them to. But other than that, you cannot, it's like a faux pas to go and pick up someone else's drink and drink from it. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what the population of Black people is in Sweden?
I don't know the numbers, to be fair. I actually don't know the numbers. But what this unleashed also, there's an article called A Social Media Takedown is a Blessing in Disguise for Sweden, because usually in conversations about politics and stuff like that, Sweden is often looked as the place of peace, neutrality, and the place where politics don't mess up the country kind of thing. But Sweden too, like those kind of Nordic countries are seen as not really involved in the political conversation. Do you guys not feel that? I don't know. I know Switzerland is always a neutral place, but Sweden.
Yeah, like the Nordics in general, they're seen as like, they're held as like, oh, they're the best places. I swear it's like Sweden, Switzerland, and Norway and Denmark usually get like top 4, top 5 in terms of like places to live, or where rights are good for women, or that kind of thing. So they definitely are like, I definitely know, like, for sure, like from a corporate perspective, that, you know, they look at them as the example, as best practice. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting.
So yeah, the author of the tweet thread was a Gambian Swedish author called Lovette Jallow, and she used a Swedengate hashtag to facilitate raw discussion about what it's like growing up and living as a Black person in Sweden, with all its unspoken rules and structural racism. And also they've got apparently indigenous Sami people. I don't know who they are, but they've got similar to the Aborigines in Australia, they don't treat them very well. So it's just interesting. I think my derivative of this conversation is that there are countries that have really great PR, and then there's countries like some of our home countries that don't. And we've always talked about rebranding our country's image to uplift and maybe better its positioning in the social conversation about politics and stuff like that. But this is where maybe PR goes bad. I don't know. It's just a conversation about countries' PR, but yet the truth of the dirty truth of how it's done, that lurks underneath, and whether it's a gift or a curse to have a country perceived as perfect when you've got so much negative stuff going on behind the scenes.
I've just been going through a few bits on this, and Candice Osborne actually put this in. She suggested it as a news story a couple of weeks ago, and there were some really interesting points in the parts that she suggested. One, namely, being that we don't actually talk about the global South, so that generally is like the Nordic countries, and they're kind of that they hoard onto things and they're not as generous, and actually that doesn't create a cohesive society. So more, when a society is more giving, they thrive more. But over there, they are very much like individuals. So it's become a part of their culture to actually be like, we only feed our family. So that's why they don't take in refugees. And that's like state policy. It all goes hand in hand. They'll feed white people before they will feed any other races as well. It's like that's a cultural norm for them. I definitely agree. We don't hear of that with Sweden or Switzerland or Norway. I'm scared of going to Norway because I hear stuff about Norway, but definitely you don't really hear of Sweden being unfriendly to other cultures. And by all accounts, they definitely have this running through them. But it just seems super weird that you could have what would be considered a first world country and you don't give your guests food. Like that's a cultural norm. That is crazy to me. I don't get, and then the other way around, you would consider lots of African countries third world, but then people will have communal eating. Like it's like you have sayings of like eat with me, like various things in all different languages. Gar has it, Tree has it. It's like the plate goes down and then you welcome everybody, like, come and eat with me, and it's up to the person there to say, no, I'm okay, or most of the time you will be like, no, go ahead and eat. But if you go and visit somebody, you know the first thing they're going to do is offer you a drink and some food.
Yeah, exactly. I think in one of the threads, someone was saying, it is an article in the Independent, and a Swede was saying, I laughed when I checked Twitter and saw that Sweden Gate was trending. All this fuss because of the revelation that Swedish people don't, as a rule, serve food to their guests. And apparently, she said, as a child growing up in Gothenburg, I remember not really caring at all that I wasn't being fed. I just continued playing, had a nice quiet time while the other family had their dinner. It was usually just a quick pause. The Swedish thinking goes like this: the other child or the other family may have planned for another kind of dinner, and you wouldn't want to ruin the routine or preparations. But I think there's conversations like this, you know, times have changed. It's not like something that happens as much, I don't know, but it depends if you're honoring old school traditions and stuff like that. But it is very interesting about the isolation. That's what I read, that they're very isolated. It's one family thinking or individual thinking rather than a communal thinking. And how does that prosper for a country?
I suppose, though, I get what they mean about not necessarily wanting to disrupt another person's routine, because we spoke about it on this podcast once where someone was looking after a kid and they fed the child some, like, their traditional food, and the mother kicked off about it. So situations like that must happen, you know, often. So maybe they're just like, bun that, we don't want that at all. But if I know that I'm not getting fed, I'm just going to go around after. I'm just going to bring my kids going to go around after. And, you know, these are all reasons why I'm not into making your child sleep over. Imagine you make your child sleep over.
Nah.
They got to bring their own bed sheets and then they don't get fed.
Listen.
Randomness.
Very interesting.
That's really weird. I was never allowed to sleep over at people's houses anyway. Just literally like family.
That's it.
Close, like literally like mum's brother, like it's a proper first cousins, or my godmother's house. It was only two places I could sleep anyway.
I had a very different opinion. I had to stay at people's houses because mum's work when she's doing night duty. So I stayed at, not loads, but from being fostered to having two white best friends at the time whose houses I would stay at. Then there was another one, I don't know who or where my mum knew them from. I used to stay at theirs and they'd take me to school. So we definitely had, I definitely stayed at people's houses. It wasn't unallowed.
Did they always feed you?
I was always fed. That's another, whether I like the food is a different question, but I was always fed. I was always fed.
I don't think I was allowed to stay at people's houses until probably just when I was like, if I think about it, I swear I must have been in like college. When I got to that stage, and then like a year later, I didn't live at home anyway. So unless it was family, or as Lena said, like practically family, that was not going down. My mum wasn't about that life.
That's the thing. I think like I think I'm trying to be objective to this, and like being like Nigerian culture is like, you don't really, unless you know the people well, you don't eat at their house anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like that is just like a very kind of like standard thing. Like you either eat before you go, do you know what I mean? But your parents will definitely tell you like, you know, do you know what I mean? Like don't ask for anything. Do you know what I mean? You'll get that warning.
That's black.
Because that is absolutely black.
So, like, I feel like, I don't know whether it's, I get it's part of their culture, do you know what I mean? But we're kind of practicing the same thing a little bit. So I just feel like it's not necessarily as alien as we're making it out to be, I think.
I guess it's more like, I don't know if it's more like once you're in the house, I think black people show us have a real thing like, you can eat here and we've got food for you. But once there's definitely the whole thing, don't eat no one's house because you don't know what's going on in that. They could be tissue filled or they're just dirty, just don't know.
Like say, I doesn't eat from anybody. That's what my granny used to say all the time.
Exactly.
I doesn't eat from any and anybody.
And then you don't know how clean they are. All those type of things that will put in you like, even my mum didn't do that because I think she knew that, bro, when you're going somewhere, they're helping me out, so you better eat. So there was none of that for me. But I get that. I've heard that a lot from all black cultures. But I think once you're in the house, we put a show of entertaining and filling up our guests.
I think so I guess you have to show that you are able to feed them.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? Like if people are coming to you. Like I don't know, I just had it a bit weird, like because because my family were structured the way that they were, we tended to feed a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? So, and we would also make food for like the congregation of people every Sunday. That was part of what this is why I hate cooking. But yeah, this is what we had to do every single fucking Sunday. It was a lot. And yeah, so like that part of like, I guess it's like the warmth, the giving, the act of, you know, gifting people, the joy, the nourishment, all of that kind of stuff. Like that is definitely like, I think super beneficial. Do you know what I mean? So it sounds weird. Like when people are like, oh no, we don't feed you. It does sound really, really odd. But then I'm thinking if like, I'm trying to see it from their perspective. Do you know what I mean? I'm struggling. I'm not going to lie, but I am trying. I'm trying.
I guess I mean, it's something that they do, and it's like, well, it's known that you're going to go home and eat, but it's just like and I guess it depends on what their play date hours are. But if it's for an evening, the child's just sitting there. I mean, I don't know. But there's a tweet from someone called Pardeep on Twitter. He said, Indians tweeting about Swedish not sharing food and saying Indians share food with others is quite amusing, as Indians share food only among their own castes. Forget the food. Indians don't share water with other castes. Now, this guy is called Pardeep, and so I'm going to assume he has the right to talk about the culture that he's talking about in this way.
Yeah, we don't.
So I'm gonna and yeah, so
and that's not absolutely fact.
But this is the thing: cultures have their own culture, right? Like if Black people, if you come in our house, we're gonna feed you.
Yeah,
we're at least going to offer you food.
Yeah,
you know, if you know people are coming, or even if you don't and they come, the first thing you're gonna do is like, do you want something to eat?
Yeah,
it's just what you do. And then if we're cooking, we don't know how to make a small bowl. We're always going to cook more. There's like enough to feed the 5,000. It's just how it is. That's our culture.
And so I think sorry.
Go on. No, go ahead.
I actually knew a Black person who was very, very watchy of her pot when people were invited round. And it was always a bone of contention. Like, wow, it's like you don't feel comfortable. Like that was a thing. Like you don't want to be seen as a person that's tight. It's just a weird thing. But it's so weird. The thing is like you send your child, don't go and eat, but yet you know that the person's going to offer your child food, and the child's got to sit there and resist. In theory,
I feel like I have a theory about this. It's coming to me, so bear with me. But I think because of the scarcity that would be up there, it's cold. Food is probably less to get a hold of, and maybe as the generations have come on, it was just like when you're first trying to kind of populate an area, you keep your food to yourself because you may not actually have enough to feed your family. Maybe that's been passed on as traditions and culture to keep them going. So because there wasn't a lot there and it's cold and food comes in seasons, it's just that we keep what we have to ourselves to keep our families alive. And that's become a part of their culture, even though we have like exporting now and you can get food from around the world and all of that. Whereas in Africa, where everything is way more abundant and we've been there longer, maybe we've gone past that stage of hoarding. And so that's why we can be so giving and just overflowing with things, because we know that the universe always provides. I'm thinking maybe that's the difference in mentality.
Maybe it's that, because even as the story goes, if you're poverty, you've got one grain, we'll share it, we'll find a way to share it. I don't know. It's true. I think that's the point. That's the point. I'm going to put the pod, because it started off, it was a Twitter space conversation where it all started. So if you're interested in finding out more, I'll drop it in the comments. So moving on, Auntie Farah, what have you heard? Oh, sorry. Let's get the comments.
Do your next one.
Sorry. No. Well, we took a bit of time on that. Let's get the comments.
Okay, hold on. So T says, I always thought that staying at people's houses was a white people thing. And I'm so sorry, gracious greatness. I'm struggling. Someone want to help me out? Mr. Tang says the host will offer. It's just we're trained to say no, thank you.
Which bit of gracious?
Yeah, which one?
Read?
I think that's all of the comments in regards to this situation, to this story, and the other comments are probably a story that we're gonna come to.
Yeah, right. About Carlo, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It threw me. Sorry. Thanks.
Wrote in vernacular as well, so that's that for you. All right, Aunt Farah, what have you heard?
So, I'm torn because there's two that I want to talk about, but I'm going to go with this one. So over the weekend, or it might have been on Friday, I can't remember, Friday or Saturday, Diddy appeared on Young Miami from the City Girls show, which is on his Revolt channel. So he's given her a platform on that. She's got her own chat show, and he was the first guest. Lots of sound bites went out about the interview because the two have been rumored to be dating for the last year or so. And basically on this show, they confirmed that they were dating. So they talked about things like parenting after the loss of a partner, stroke co-parent. They talked about believing in love and the distractions of that. They talked about trending on Twitter after Young Miami went after one of Diddy's alleged side chicks. But the major thing that came about was she saying to him, "We go together." And he was like, "We go together?" And she was like, "Yeah, if you're going to take me here and you're going to do all that, we go together." And this is after her, asking him his status. And he said, "I'm single, but I date." So my question to you ladies is, did you watch it? And if you did watch it, what did you think? And did you think that she kind of pressured Diddy into saying that they go together?
I can't lie. I found the conversation a bit blah. I don't know. It didn't excite me. And I don't know. I was very about it. I don't think she pressured him. She put him on the spot a little bit, but do you know what I'm thinking of? He's a grown-ass man. He's been there, done that. He's been around the world and and come back again. And he's going to say what? Because in the end, he just said,
"That was good.
Whatever you want." He was like, "Whatever you say." So it's just like, he's going to humor her in this space. He's not going to get into it. He damage controlled it. If ever she was even kind of, "So what are we?" He gave her the answers she wanted to hear. But she knows and he knows that this thing is going to run for as long as he wants it to run. I don't know how invested in him she is, but for her to ask him and put him on the spot in public means that she's a little bit more pressed than she put out, because she kind of said, so something that she said about I don't want to get married, and I don't want no, and I felt like, how old is she, 28? Or
I think she's a bit younger than that. She's in her 20s.
But she's in her 20s, and I definitely agree. I definitely know there are women that are not interested in that at all. But the fact you put him on the spot to try and get some sort of public commitment out of him shows me that, to me, made me think you're not as independent and nonchalant about being in a relationship with Diddy as you're possibly putting out there. And I think that if he was to ask you to marry him, you possibly would say yes. And I think that Diddy's got the upper hand in this. So he's just playing. No, I don't say he's playing a game. He might like her, and it's all very. It's a good moment for him right now, but he absolutely said, "I'm dating." He said, "I'm single." So the commitment he got from him wasn't a commitment. It was just let's move on. So that's my thoughts.
I thought it was super PR'd, and it wasn't as free-flowing as the clip suggested. Like, to me, it just felt very much like, this is what we're going to talk about, and improvised, but they knew what was coming. And I think she knows this is business, and he knows this is business, and they enjoy each other's company, and they're doing this for money. When they ended with, "We're making money over here," I was like, of course you are. He knows what he's doing. He's got his tequila brand. Like I've been saying, like, tequila is going to be the new Prosecco. He knows what he's doing. He knows this is going to be for women. He's got flipping a city girl, basically the face of his tequila brand. That's great marketing. And then you've got the added spice of, maybe we're dating, maybe there's beef with another woman that he's dating. Like, it's like, all of that is just social media fodder, and they're prepared to play the game. I don't really. They may sleep together, maybe, I don't even know. And I almost think sleeping together as in they sleep together in a bed, and I don't think it's sexual.
Did you not hear the first part of the interview?
I don't believe them. I don't believe them for a second. Like, I was literally just like, this is great marketing. And people can see that there is some type of chemistry, but I saw it as business chemistry, and they really understand how to play social media, and they're just playing it. And yeah, I wasn't convinced that anything really had taken place. Like, I even feel the other chick that he's seeing that has supposedly been around for years as well, her kind of having that online spat, I think that was marketing as well. I don't believe in any of this. I think it's all a rollout. And I want to try his tequila. They should sponsor us.
I don't know about after that, but
You get me?
right. Well, it was her first interview that she's done ever, and I think for a first interview that she's done ever, it was okay. And then to be interviewing someone like Diddy, like even if they are sleeping together, do you know what I mean? It can be very intimidating in terms of what he stands for, his legacy, all of that kind of stuff. He is a very powerful Black man. He's a powerful man, just full stop. Do you know what I mean? Like in the industry, regardless of what you think of him, he is like, you know, he can make trends. He can, you know, he makes money instantly. And I think that I just think like this. I do think it is marketing. I think it's probably like a lot of gray. Do you know what I mean? Like they're probably into each other, you probably fancy her, whatever kind of thing. And it's just like, okay, we can do this and we can do that. And she has to essentially, like all artists, do you know what I mean? You have to ride the train, because there's going to come a point that you're not on trends anymore. That you're not, do you know what I mean? So, well, she feels or whatever kind of thing, she has to ride that. I just think that, although I would just like, I hope she understands that without her, this can't work. I hope she understands that she's the money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really do, because like Diddy is known for sucking everyone's power and then just leaving them to wither, basically. Do you know what I mean? And this just seems like a new cycle of that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that she over gets it. Do you know what I mean? But I thought it was like, there were some like sweet moments. And I think this is the kind of like the difference between like the UK and the US. Like, even if it is a sham, they will still go deep a bit. Do you know what I mean? So when he was talking about, or they were talking about the partners they had lost, do you know what I mean? I thought that was a very touching moment, and stuff. And I think like, you know, it's kind of, it's weird. She's 28, he's 52. It's a massive, it's just, you know, it's weird.
I agree with all of you about all of your points. I think they're business partners who fuck. I don't think they don't not fuck. I think they fuck. I think that it's totally marketed because they both understand the business and what's trending at the moment and where to go. She wants to do a bit more things. She's, you know, why not tap into the resources that are made available for you? It works for him. It works for her. I think it's weird because she is 28. He's got kids her age. It's weird. I think that she probably is a little bit more into him than she's making out, because she talks about wanting to have more children. He said he wants to have more children as well. And she's like, oh, I heard that I see that twins run in your family. Obviously, there's a bit of spice and just, you know, fodder for the socials on that. But I do think that she seemed to be a little bit more into him.
But don't you think that is to also secure the bag? Because have a baby by me, be a millionaire.
Be a millionaire. I did. You know what? I literally sang that in my head when she said those words.
Same as me.
I definitely think there's a little bit of that, and she's a smart chick. I do.
Yeah. Go on,
and also, you got to remember the city girls. Sorry. They do kind of air on that toxic.
Yeah, they do.
So
they do. But I still think that she's a little bit more into him than she's making out. And with that, I suppose it made me question his responsibility there. He's being honest with her, but it's that whole thing of like, if a man knows that you're not into a woman and you can see that the woman's into you, even if she's saying I'm not, is the responsibility with him to be like, you know what, let's just keep it neat and keep it.
But you know what I think was cool as well is that she was like, well, this is who I am, because if you try to leave me, this is what's going to happen. She was, I can be honest with you.
Yeah. It's not over until I say it's over.
I jumped on the dude's car and stuff like that. And he was like, you did what? And she was like, yeah, so take note. Like, I really appreciated her being like honest about who she is and just, you know,
Yeah.
what she wants to do with herself. But yeah, I found it entertaining. You know, it's her first interview. She interviewed him. They've clearly got a relationship. I found it entertaining. I think that she'll get better as time goes along. But I definitely hope that within her contract, she has secured that bag and she has the rights to take a format like that of her somewhere else if it needs to be.
Yeah, I think I was watching it through very cynical eyes, because it is like, you're a grown-ass man, and what do you know? You know, when he asked her, you know, where does she want to take the show? And she's like, you know, I want to do a bit of everything. A little bit of her naivete showed through. And something in his facial expression was like, okay, I'm going to go with you. But, you know, as a businessman as he is, if he was to sit in front of us and be like, what's the aunties? We got to have that pitch. Otherwise, he'd be like, okay, eyes glazed over, on to the next. And I saw his eyes kind of, well, to me, it's like his eyes glazed over in that moment. And he was just like riding with it, like, yeah, you know, do your thing, girl, big you up. But in my mind, I'm like, that was the wrong answer for someone like him, because he is. And that's when it was like, we're honestly make this money and stuff like that. Diddy's been around the block. So I think we've all alluded to, I just hope she's as clued up as she's projecting. I hope she's not as taken in as I feel like she might be. And I hope she doesn't jump on his car and go nuts when it's over. And I hope she does leave.
I hope she does, man.
I hope she live dreams herself doing it.
Not for her dignity, but more for the fact that it just feels the male ego, and I want her to leave in that respect. If she gets him, then it's like, so, I don't know, just with intention, not with reaction. Maybe.
But I feel like when she mentioned them, how did you feel about when you woke up and you were trending on Twitter? Even if you believe like what Auntie Nan said about it all being a setup, which I don't really think that it is a setup. I kind of believe the beef that them two girls just don't get on. But it was interesting to see his response to that. You know, he didn't apologize or even like own up for any part that he played in it. He was just like, it was just time to reset and just move on, keep it moving type shit. That's what he was kind of saying. So
you know why I really think that was staged is if you think of all of the messiness that Diddy has been a part of and it never gets out. That's not like
these are
baby
young
mothers, literally, like they were brethren.
But his baby mothers are grown-ass women who are his age. These are young chicks in this new social media kind of world with like, huh?
They weren't when they were having the kids. Like,
no, but his age.
She was our age. She's our age. So when she was pregnant and her best friend's pregnant as well, they are in their 20s.
Kim was 48 when she died. So she's older than us.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So like they're his age.
He's 52, so they are in a similar age.
Yeah, so like they're in Kim and the baby mothers, they're in like a similar age group to him. Whereas these girls, she's 28.
But you really think that at that time, and this is
I'm not saying they weren't wilding out. I'm not saying they weren't wilding out. I'm saying it's different now. And I also do believe that Kim is a different type of person to Young Miami. Young Miami's the type of chick that she said it, she's gonna jump on a car. Like Kim didn't seem like that to me. Or
I think it's all purposeful. It's not, he's too, anyone, I know quite a few people that have worked with him. And he is so methodical and very much like controls the layer. It's not coming out without him being like, you two can go at each other because that's great.
I think that's what. I'm not saying that's not what happened. I think it's what happened.
It is kind of classic, though. It's classic Diddy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not a record, it's a podcast. But who's all up in the podcast? Yeah, exactly. Who's on that episode? What?
Dancing in the background.
He literally has to be in everything. Like nothing doesn't happen in his world without him being like.
I had been at the heart of it. Oh God, he's my.
I thought it was out of order though. I want more children because weren't that the whole thing with Cassie? Like she wanted kids, and
it wasn't even that.
And he was like, no, and I was a bit like, oh, that must. I just felt that was a sting on her, and also saying I didn't want her to go. Like I found it hard. I was just like, what type of psycho are you, Diddy?
It's interesting that you said that. I found it. What annoyed me was that it seemed to be like an ego thing for him. That he now all of a sudden that his daughters are turning 16, he's now like, oh, I want babies again.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time about men, ability, and power and legacy seem to be creating more seed.
He did say he's toxic though.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
He said he can be toxic. And
he
he
is,
doesn't-
he is.
know that.
he
We know
doesn't
that.
cheat anymore. I was like, because you don't have a girlfriend.
Now he's decided to be honest. And he's mature.
Yes. He's
I'm a
told
little-
everybody.
You
biggest
don't
mind
have a
control.
girlfriend.
That's the biggest mind control. I'm gonna let you know what I'm going to do, and if you like it, and then it's just gonna be nonchalant. So she can
That's-
jump on his car. She can jump on his car. She can scratch on his thing. But when he's done, her saying the relationship's done when I say so, I was like, baby girl.
Yeah.
But that's why I said in situations like that, I feel like the man has a responsibility, or he
Of
has a
course.
responsibility, because he knows where he stands. And if he gets to the point where, why are you going to continue with this chick when you know that you're not going down the same road as her? I just find it, irresponsible.
I think it's asking a lot of men who believe that women are there for them. Like literally, we are here on this planet to serve them, to then start thinking of what
Nicely.
like the women's feelings. Like it's like, but why would I do
Yeah.
that? Like, you're supposed to be here for me. So while you're here for me, these are my wants. And then you tailor yourself to my wants. And I think we have seen that this is how Diddy operates.
Yeah.
Everybody
And
is in
then-
Diddy's world.
And then they'll say the classic line of, I've been transparent. Fuck you and your fucking transparency.
Transparency comes with conditions.
I've been transparent. You haven't.
Yeah.
You see that gel that he spoke about, like his first love, and the family cut him off and moved away. I was like, those parents were very, very smart.
Yeah.
They obviously saw what he was about and was literally like, no, our daughter is not going to be a part of your harem. Like,
Yeah.
and I think most women should, like, if you're looking for that high value man, know what that shit comes with. You will just be a doll in his life, and he'll play you and do what he wants. You may be in a nice house, you may get an allowance, but remember, you're beholden to him.
Two things. When he was like, I'm gonna take you to church, that's like an epitome of like, you're the best one, because you go to, because church is out in public in a familiar community setting. That makes you feel like your first wife status.
But it's not even.
No, it's just
and number two,
so like just another trick.
Exactly.
And number two, when he was, and I don't mean to, definitely not to disrespect his situation or his upbringing or anything, or how he was affected, but when he said about his mum, when his dad passing, and so he grew up never seeing a marriage in the home, which is why he doesn't want to get married. My first thought, you're 52, bro. So I can understand.
He said he didn't want to get married. He didn't say he doesn't want to get married anymore. He said that's why he didn't want to get married.
But then she said, but didn't she ask him, do you want to get married? And he was like,
I think she said, why haven't you been married?
So did he say he's open to marriage?
He didn't say he's open to marriage, but he didn't say he's not.
And again,
he said that's not for him. He was like,
yeah,
he's never been. He used a term. It was literally, it's just never been a part of my, I wouldn't say agenda, but he had a term for it. He didn't say.
Okay. I kind of thought it was like something he was talking about previously, because she, but I might have missed that anyway.
Well, what I got from it was that he wasn't going to get married, and he blamed that on his father dying when he was young, and his mum not getting married, and his mum not having a getting married again, and so he didn't grow up with marriage in the family. And I was like, you've evolved, so that can't. I mean, I don't want to speak on anyone's trauma or life experiences, but my natural human reaction was like, bro, you're 52. That can't still be the reason. And I think it's an excuse, not a reason. I don't think it's the truth. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Diddy, you're my Scorpio bro, but bro, you're problematic, man. You know it. I love you.
It's just problematic. It's like Auntie Shadi just said, like he does textbooks things like, I'm going to take you to church, I'm going to take you to an island. You know them guys that do shit with you, yeah? That is like,
what do you mean
we go together?
Because it's like no one's ever done that. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, come on, man.
And she went putty. She was like, church. And
I think she's saying it. I don't think.
Yeah,
I actually don't think that he's got her as much as he thinks he does. I think he's seen it as like he's got a kind of like new little
project.
Yeah, like the city girls are basically Little Kim for this generation.
Yeah,
and I think that he's
screwed up.
No, I messed up last time. I'm not gonna mess up this time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I think she knows what the hell she's doing. To be honest,
I hope so.
I feel like she does. There's something in me that is like, no, she's more clued up, and I think maybe her having something, because it's not just her, so her having a child, like it's more grounding, like, so you know this dude can take me to the next level. That people, you know, that within the music, you know who's gonna level you up. And I think she's just playing the game. She knows she's young blood, and I think she's tough enough to ride it. I don't think he's gonna get his way with her. I think like she's a smart cookie.
Let's hope. I think, you know what, the young generation are different, and I hope it would be good if, you know what, if he gets taken for a ride a little bit, just to get a bit of his own pepper and medicine.
He's getting older now, isn't it? Like
and,
the same way
and we talk about the girls, like men can get infatuated, they just know how to hide it well. There's not to say, saying all of this is not to say that he himself can't get dickmatized or pussymatized.
Yeah, he said he ran to the train station.
Yeah,
so he actually may be pussymatized for real. He actually
could be 100%. And if he's pussymatized, good for him. And I hope she does leave.
But that works for the branding as well, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes, it does. He'll just do love. He'll be like, I'm Diddy Love now. He'll go through Diddy Love phase and have a bunch of love songs. The video, I'm going to put it in the comments. The video is now on 3 million after 3 days. It's had 3 million plus views.
But they clipped the hell out of that show, though.
They really
the whole show. The whole
show gave
us
the best of it in the clip, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But I knew like the clip that they gave us wasn't be the way that it would play out, but it was still. I still found it interesting.
I watched about 8 different clips. I think they know how this social media train goes now. You like clip it to death.
Absolutely.
Most people only have an attention span of an amoeba, so they're just gonna watch all the clips. And if you watch the clips, you'll get the show.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, because I did hear a lot of things over the weekend where people were just talking about when she was saying, "Oh, we go together." It's like they didn't really understand the rest of the conversation.
Yeah,
the sort of things that we've just mentioned, but it's interesting.
All right, let's get the comments and move on.
Okay, so Gracious Greatness says, Puff the Magic Diddy Dragon been exploiting women, a man them and women them since the 90s. And also says, stop trying to be a bachelor, bruv, go and sit down. He should have learned from George Clooney. You know, like when you just said stop trying to be a bachelor, bruv, I could just hear Castillo.
Yeah. I was actually watching him today on his new show.
Bachelor, bruv.
Bruv.
I love that Puff the Magic Diddy Dragon.
I know it's me. It's more me. I know what you're doing. I just can't read it in that way. Sorry.
So. Yeah, no apologies, but yeah, it'll be hard to read in the moment. All right, let's go. Auntie Nana, what's made you sad, mad, and glad? What's your new story, girl?
Hey, you know, I think I'm gonna go for the Peckham immigration. So hopefully most of you guys have seen that in Peckham in London, an immigration truck pulled up onto an estate. They took a Nigerian man, and local residents and people came out in force and stopped the truck from leaving. They did like a protest around it, and they stayed there for over 4 hours. Eventually, the immigration officers actually let the man go, and the police came and cleared the area, but the man is fighting to stay in this country. And yeah, it's just the amazing sight of people power. And left behind is like a few things just saying, like, you know, you can't take the immigrants from here. Like, we don't need you guys coming back in. They were saying, like, stay out of Peckham.
Don't come back to Peckham. That was the chant.
Yes, don't come back to Peckham. So my questions to you guys is really just like, in reality, are people more open to having immigrants like live amongst stuff, and we actually want people to come over here and create a new life for themselves? Is that the reality of living in Britain? Or even in London, I would say? Is there more of a feeling that immigrants are welcome? And at the same time, there's another immigration story. So Priti Patel's Rwandan deportations are now being placed on hold because there's so many legal fights against it. So again, that's not happening as well. So again, I was just thinking those correlate with people power. Like, we may actually not want that. We don't see it as a big issue as they're making out in the media. those are my thoughts on it. But what do you guys think? Is there something out there where normal folks don't actually want this to go ahead?
I think the majority of people, don't mind too much. I think we're just like, it's just the propaganda that, like, if someone comes over, they're taking something from you. Do you know what I mean? That's just pumped constantly. So I think it's hard when you kind of quiz people down, like their arguments just don't hold up. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't think it's, I think like London prides itself on being multicultural. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like one of our best qualities for sure. I swear there's probably someone from every single nationality in the world here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's, I don't think, I just think it's propaganda. Do you know what I mean? Because who is it really hurting? How is it really affecting you? Honestly. And yeah, like Britain owes everyone, as far as I'm concerned. Your borders should be open all the time. You owe everyone.
Yeah, I definitely agree. One thing I always think about is all these British people that are telling everyone else to go back home. I wish they all did a DNA test, because they will soon find out that there is no such thing as a pure British person, because they've been invaded. They've invaded everywhere. They've had people come over. That, you know, there isn't a pure British person. The Queen herself is not pure British. She's German. So they all need to shut up as far as that's concerned. In terms of Priti Patel and the Rwanda thing, there are a lot of legal cases outstanding, which is why some of that is not going ahead. But the High Court did actually say they did grant her permission to carry on with these. They said that they're not going to stop it, basically. So that was a bit of a loss to people. But I do believe there's something in people power. I'm just not sure how long it will last until those immigration officers and the police return back to Peckham or anywhere else to collect those people. There's only so much that can be done, I think. Maybe they'll come back more in force. I don't think that people in London are as against immigration as people in certain other communities within this country. I think London is very diverse. You know, you look on any street in any area, it's very diverse. Even the areas that are predominantly more one way than the other, there's still a lot of diversity there. And we don't look at each other in the same way, because we're all from somewhere else. So I think we don't really look at it in the same way as someone from a remote village up north, for example, because they just don't see a lot of Black people, or they just don't see a lot of Asian people, or they just don't see a lot of others. And unfortunately, the way that the country's set up in voting, those voices tend to get heard more than the voices in cities.
But the thing, you know what I would like, yeah, is just more frigging education, because the country cannot run without immigrants.
Absolutely.
Like, it just can't.
Immigrant.
Trying to get people to go and pick the vegetables for the harvest, yeah? You think British and bread. Who's going to the farms, please?
Drive the lorries, you know, work in the NHS during COVID. If every single person who is not British born, or, you know, not even British born like us, we're first generation British, aren't we? But if even if you took all of us away, any immigrant, according to Priti Patel's flipping policy, the country would come to a halt. It would literally stand still.
I think that the people pride themselves on being for the people, community spirited. And I think in pockets of communities, especially on estates and those kind of close-knit communities, when you know those people immediately, and you can, the source of the seeing injustice to anyone, I think as humans, we react with empathy, and it's the initial thing to react against and rebel against the man, as it were. But I'm not as confident that the whole of the UK, even in multicultural London, are extremely happy about what the perceived influx of immigrants of all nations coming into the UK, especially when they're looking at the fact that cost of living is going up, benefits are being reduced, squeezed, and you have, you know, the right wing kind of whistle, headline blasters saying things like, they're taking your money, all the money's going to immigrants, all the housing's going to immigrants and stuff like that. It's very easily manipulated. So I'm not sure we're a comfortable country. I don't think that everyone's happy about it. I think people case by case will react, but I don't think anyone necessarily wants to see humans being treated inhumanely. However, I think people are more concerned about their personal security, and they will think about their personal security before another man. And if it means that protecting their own versus an immigrant, they're going to stand up and make sure that their own are protected first. I can't remember where I was somewhere, and sometimes I do walk down streets and think about what white people are thinking when you go to an area and it is predominantly of one culture. I can't remember where I was. And I just, sometimes you see people with white people's faces, I mean, you have no idea what they're thinking. And sometimes I think, do they look out and think, what's happening to my country? Like, where am I? I wonder if they think that, because I can say, if I was in Ghana and I saw a bunch of white people in an abundance, I would be like, what's going on here? And
has Ghana robbed the world?
No, I'm not.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's the lack of education piece.
There's a lack of, but that's what I'm saying.
People don't understand what their countries have done to the rest of the world for us to even be here in the fucking first place.
That's why I'm saying I don't know if, as you're saying about the education, that's why I'm saying I don't think there's a true, real care about immigrants in that way. I think people want their land to be their land.
And then also as well, sorry to cut you, it's just when British people or Americans or Australians go to other countries, they're called expats. What the fuck? Like,
exactly. Why are they fucking expats, but everyone else is an immigrant?
Get out of here,
man. How is that?
Yeah, they lean heavily on the immigration, the illegal entries. Same what they did in America, that all these people coming in droves across the water. And the numbers, they're not, I mean, I don't know all the numbers, I don't have all the stats, but in comparison to the grand scheme of things and the hundreds and 200 and 300 years of slavery and colonialism, those journeys that you made.
But also, the people they're deporting, let's not forget, the people that they're deporting are not necessarily people that have come on a boat from the...
No, exactly, of course.
They're deporting people that have been here, lived here all their fucking adult fucking lives. That's who they're deporting. Let's not forget about that shit that's going down weekly. When people are putting Jamaicans and Caribbeans and Africans on planes to go back to where she believes they come from.
Yeah, that I think that everything you guys said. One of the points, something you said, Auntie AK, made me think of when I worked in Barking Council for a short minute, and quite a few of my co-workers were very much. It was like on the rise of the BNP. And the BNP did very well in Barking and Dagenham.
Yes.
And a few people that I worked with would come with the, I'm not talking about you because you were born here, but it's the other people. So it wasn't the blacks anymore that they would speak about. It would be like the Romanians.
Yes.
That was their biggest thing that they would talk about. I mean, it's the Romanians. All they do is drink all the time and just all of that. But then when they would get to know somebody, then it turns into, no, it's not that guy. I mean, because they're great. But there seems to be this general thing of we can talk about immigration and refugees, but we actually don't even know anybody. And I think that's the thing with the rest of the country. You're just feeding off of headlines. It isn't like your health services have actually been impacted that much. But because you hear in some place it has, oh no, they must all go. And then when you can't get the produce that you need or you don't get the workers, then it's then you go against that and it's like, oh, British people are lazy and the working class don't know how to work. And it's just like, if I don't get why people can't just use their minds themselves. And really, instead of feeding into the media pump that they feed you with, just think of the surroundings that you have. Has your life really changed in any way? Are you being impacted adversely? And most of the times when you're answering yes, it's because of government policy and not because of your other fellow human that lives down the road from you. It's literally what they deem as, this is how much you should live on. This is how much we're going to allow people to just rape you to use their energy. And so now you have to get another job. It's like, it's never because of another person. It's never because of your neighbor. It really jars me that folks think to blame another person that's just working for their adverse problems, when really it's governmental issues. Why now we're having to pay flipping almost £2 a litre for petrol. Has nothing to do with immigrants. Has nothing to do with the war in Russia. It has to do with profits. Why are companies still making a profit and people can't feed themselves?
Exactly.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But those are my thoughts.
Let's get the comments.
Okay, so Victoria says some people, especially those with families or friends, are genuinely interested in immigrants, but right now people are more keen to annoy Preeti Patel. Glasgow started the trend surrounding immigration bans last year, and that was definitely a FU to the Tories, and the police refused to help the immigration officers. Good on them. She's added a link there. Greatness says the immigration conversation is quite complex and
Anecdotal.
I need to say anecdotal.
Yeah.
Anecdotal. Thing is that some can't tell the difference between an economic migrant, an asylum seeker, or a scrounger. They find the nuances difficult. I kind of want to say there's lots of scroungers in the UK. Anyway, Nee says most of the places in the UK that voted for Brexit had the least amount of immigrants.
Absolutely.
Definitely. They listen
All right.
to propaganda.
Let's go to Aunt Sade. What have you heard?
Okay, my story is about the one and only Beyonce. So, as you guys know, I'm a big Beyonce fan. I love her. Yes, we love her. And basically, over the weekend, I don't know if you guys saw, but Auntie AK, and I'm usually on Beyonce watch, and I don't know how I didn't see this, but Auntie AK put in the group that on Beyonce's website, there were two references that said B7 and B8. And I just want to speculate. What do you guys think that this is all about? What do you think is happening? Let me know.
She's dropping
album news.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, I definitely think she's trolling us, and I definitely think new music is coming soon, because Miss Tina also put maybe like the day before she posted on Instagram as like Beyonce singing and said, "I miss hearing you sing."
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's also like,
yeah, and like, sorry, I was just gonna say, Beyonce now knows. Everyone followed in her footsteps, didn't it? You know, she was just dropping things, albums, like out of the blue, like, shit, Beyonce dropped an album, but there was no promo for it. So many people have done that. Now she's like, is it? You don't want to steal my style? Watch this flow. Watch the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to drop B7 and B8 at the same time.
Has she done a B6 before? Did that happen?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I didn't get where the B came from. I was like,
it's numbers of albums.
I think it's albums.
Is she on her 7th album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is her 7th album.
Yeah. I think that she's going to drop an album and she's going to do a tour with her, Jay-Z, and Destiny's Child, and Solange, and it's going to be a mega tour.
I think they're going to do a big tour, because even with Kelly coming up on Chris Martin's stage for the Coldplay.
Oh yeah.
They're doing things though.
I understand, but I'm just saying that they do things strategically, no matter what. There's all stuff and noise around it, visibility in certain spaces. Everything is Everything is
I don't know about the Destiny's Child bit. I don't know about that bit.
I think that's going to happen. They do.
The people want it,
happen, but I think
maybe it'll be a Destiny's Child album.
I think it will happen, but I think Beyonce's going to drop her own ish first, so that she can tour that when they tour, if they tour. Mm-hmm. And I also think that she's going to have some of the original DC in America. Maybe not touring the world, but I think some of the shows that she does, if they do a DC thing, because how many years is it?
Oh, like what's that show? Oh, the musical where you're the dream girl.
Dream Girls.
Dream Girls, that's it. Yeah. You go back. It's like that. Where they got Effie. She came back.
Yeah.
I mean, like that.
That would be interesting. She brought in all of the old members, as well, and they did that. That would be great, you know. That would be a real moment.
Because I'm more of an original DC lineup person. Like I didn't,
I actually don't mind either.
Yeah, Michelle,
I don't mind any of the incarnations.
I don't really even love the albums that followed. after Writings on the Wall. I'm being straight. Like, I just didn't. Writings on the Wall for me was the album.
There's
And
only
then after that, it was like, yeah, one or
So
two.
we all agree she's probably doing an album in it. This is like an album
This
launch.
is easy. It's an easy one. Something's coming. And some people saying, I hope it's not another Ivy Park drop. Please respect the economy, the broken economy.
That's the next thing. Because how many Ivy Park drops has she dropped? Because this could be 7.
No, I think that one, she knows that will just like turn people off. That's long. I think that would be bad PR to do. Even though people will buy.
He doesn't care.
Unless it's like an epic album stroke Ivy Park drop together.
Do you think you could get NFT? You could probably get an NFT if you buy a ticket or something. Oh my God, it might be in a metaverse.
It's an NFT. It's an NFT thing. I swear the album is going to be an NFT.
Serious.
Tidal said something as well. I mean, whatever the case is, we'll see. We'll see.
It's the fact when you click the link, it said this does not exist.
Yeah.
It's going to be an NFT.
BA
giving back to her fans. So we can all be a part of how well it does, and everybody can make a little bit of money out of it.
All right, let's get the comments and move on. Beyonce's dropping an album. Running out of time. Let's go.
Mr. Tang said Miss Tina was trolling too, and Red Border said 7th and 8th album double release.
Alrighty. So moving on to that part of the show. Today's episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. Do you feel like you're stuck in a dinner rut with HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, you get pre-measured ingredients with mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip all those trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. You can now enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less, with over 25 recipes to choose from each week. There is something for everyone to enjoy. All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. I need to do my HelloFresh run. I haven't done it yet. I'm behind. However, guys, get on it because we have got 50% off your first box and then 35% off your next 3 boxes. That there's a link in our show notes to give you your 50% off little debriefing. And don't forget, that's 50% off your first box and then 35% off your next 3 boxes. HelloFresh, the #1 meal kit. Auntie Nana has attested to it being brilliant stuff, and we're in line to get our stuff in.
Definitely.
I have looked on their website now to see how it goes, and I must say, as soon as payday hits, I'll be doing that ish.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. Excellent. I remembered what my absolute favorite thing was. And I know not everybody is a pork person, but my 2 favorite things was the pork and apple burger, which was absolutely delicious. And another pork thing, sorry guys, it was bacon with cheese in like a penne and spinach mixture pasta dish.
What I need to do is get my own HelloFresh meals because I cannot smile about a pork dish. But
when I looked at it today, they have like lots of different pescatarian options.
Oh, excellent.
So
loads.
Okay, that looks cool. And some veggie options on there too. So we will be fine. That's not
all right. HelloFresh, the #1 meal kit. Okay, time for Aunties Know Best. Did we have any some problems in the streets? I don't think we did have any this week. Did we?
We did, but it's not on the link for some reason. They're in our group.
Okay. Does someone want to get it? Otherwise, I'll go to our favorite Dear Prudence and find some nonsense. We'll find 1 or 2. If anyone can find the dilemma.
Are we going with the dilemma in? I can't think. What was the dilemma?
What's it called? What's it called, bruv?
Oh, what's it called, bruv? Let's see.
Castillo, man.
All right, let me read.
Well, let's do the LSG one. It's not really a dilemma.
What is it?
But I suppose it could be a dilemma. So NSG member, I don't actually remember which one, but he's posted on the internet what looks like it's a very well kept, natural, long hand manicure.
Oh.
So my question to you ladies, it's not really a dilemma, but it's a dilemma for me. If you were dating a man and he had nails longer than you, more manicured than you, would you tell him to cut them? Would you continue to date him? Would it even bother you? Would you file them for him? Would you let him file your nails? How would you feel? Or yay?
It's an ick, man. It's a huge. I saw his nails and I literally was like, when he was like, I could sell how you grow your nails, but I can grow my nails. So I was like, his nails look like my nails when I'm in the mood to like grow them long. And I can't even imagine seeing that on a guy. I don't mind the baby finger having a long nail. I don't mind that on a guy, but you can't have long nails like a woman. Like, your hands can't look like a woman's hands. No, that is a huge ick. I was literally like, why are you doing this, bruv? Another bruv. Like, why? It's weird. We're not gonna discuss it. Like, it's
the levels of disgusting for me that has, like, it is one of my top tier icks if a guy has got long fingernails. And Nana, I don't know where you're going about. You don't mind.
I don't mind that one when they got like that little cookie one.
That's like got to be the worst.
The weed nail. Back in the day,
that's not a weed nail. That's where you pick out the seeds nail. Like, why? I hate it. And you're gonna come and touch me with your fucking manicured long.
Just weird. It's just like when people used to grow that little plait at the back of their hair. I did like that.
Yeah,
it's unnecessary. I just can't.
The rat tail.
Yeah,
you can compare it to the plait.
You can. And then you're cleaning out your nails.
Nah.
Ew, ick.
I can't lie. I'm gonna cut them while you're sleeping.
Listen, let me tell you something. I used to date a guy, and he had the weed nail for a little piece. And I said to him, when you go to sleep, bruv, I'm gonna cut that bad boy off. So you better just do it yourself. The nail was gone. Because I can't have that around me. You want to touch me with, it's just this ick.
Let me tell you something. No, it's a big no from me. You're not having nails, a whole hand of nails. When we get intimate, what's happening? You're scratching me up? I don't think so. My body, my excitement is internal, not external. So I don't want my body scratched up. Thank you very much. And are you going to clean them?
But it's true.
I'm trying to be as tasteful as possible. So what's going on?
When I say I
to rake,
rake
exactly. Don't rake my insides out, please. And are you cleaning them? Are you getting
really
under there?
Uncomfortable.
Well, bro, this has come up. I'm just letting you know that this is a no from me. And even and nowadays, because weed ain't weed again, it's not like back in the day when you had to pick out sticks and stones to break your bones. It's now that manufactured skunk shit. So there are no seeds. There's no excuse unless you identify as a man, but you also like to enhance yourself in a way that is usually seen as feminine. There's nothing wrong with that if that's you.
That's the only reason.
If you're dating me, then you won't have nails. That's all I'm saying, fam. I need nice and trim. I don't even mind you having a manicure because that means you're taking time to clean up.
Yeah.
I don't mind a manicure. But I draw the blood. I even will go over if you're a little bit alternative, a bit woo way. You might wear a black nail varnish.
I don't mind that. I like that.
Depending on the look, depending on who you are. However, in my world, your nails will not be extended more than mine, and you won't be getting anything else but a manicure. That's me. Thank you very much.
Like, they can't have a centimeter length nail.
No, do you know what? Let it just not look like you've got you got nails. Just let it not look like that. And I'm sorry if I'm
exhibiting toxic. Go past your fingertip.
Yeah, let it be just.
Yeah? You see, if your nail passes your fingertip, that is too long. Why is it passing your fingertip? No, and no.
But okay, I have a question. And I agree with you guys. But is it okay for us to actually tell men what they should be doing with their nails?
Yeah.
I don't think it would be okay for men to be like, women, you can't have long nails. I don't think that's okay.
They will pick women who do what they like. So I also have the choice to do that. Do you know what I mean?
And that's it.
Say what I like. It's down to you whether you adapt to that, although I'm going to cut it off while you're sleeping. But, I just think... Yeah, I think it's choice, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You can have nails all day long. You just won't be my boyfriend.
The thing is, like, imagine, I get it because, you know, it's even like, I saw a guy the other day with relaxed hair and I held back from laughing at him because do you, bro? But it's not going to be in my world. You're not relaxing your hair. You are not. Because, and black men in our community, I'm talking about black because I date black. So black men telling black women about their hair, relaxing hair, trying to be like, I don't know, all the conversations. You can't tell me what to do with my hair. But I also understand that if you don't want a woman with processed hair or weaves and stuff like that, you have the choice to go and date whoever you want. If you've got relaxed hair, if you've got long nails, please don't approach me. Now, actually, let me scratch that. If you have nails on a day-to-day and you tick all my boxes, it's a conversation, in it. I don't know if it's a deal breaker because I need to really get the context. But like I said, I'm protecting my body here. So
thing is, for me,
think about that.
It's a deal breaker. I don't even need to have because when me and you are talking, I'm gonna see that you've got nails, because when you've got nails, you're
clacking when you're
clacking. You're on your, imagine man's on his phone and you can just hear.
No thanks.
Okay, Auntie Farah, if Chris Brown had nails.
I feel like Chris Brown has nails. I feel like he is that guy.
Chris Brown definitely must have a weed nail.
Yeah, I think he has nails. So Chris Brown, he has nails.
I'd be like, babe, go sleep. Chop, 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 chop.
And then he dumped you.
That's fine. At least I had time.
Run it. Okay, let's comment.
I've got another one. Did you guys see? Well, you did because it's in the group. There was a woman who is dating a guy and he's got a kid, and they're in the car. The guy must get out of the car and leave her in the car with the kid, and the kid is literally saying to her, "Get out of the car!
Oh yeah,
get out of the car! Get out! You're not wanted. Get out of the car!" He's basically saying some shit like that to her. Yeah. So my question to you, in that situation, what would you do? And how do you feel about dating guys who have children? Is that a turn off for you, or, you know, are you willing to work on it and work on a relationship with the child in those circumstances?
Sorry, I was writing a little note, so I missed maybe the context of the first part. Who's telling whose child to get out of the damn car like that?
No, the child was telling the woman who is dating the child's father to get out of the car.
So telling me to get out of the car?
Yes.
The child is telling me, get out of the car! You're
get out of the car.
Okay, so look, it's very easy to say I'll mash a child up, but what's happening here? What's this situation here? Because for me, you're not talking to me like that. But however, how did we get here where the child feels like they have the right and the comfortability to tell me, a whole me, and my personality, my character, and how I know I would treat a stepchild, that you're telling me in that way? So that's something, there's a disconnect. And I'll return to my partner, like, what the fuck are you teaching this child? How are you raising this child? Why are we in this situation? Because it lies with the father or the parent of the child. That's upsetting. Because I'm talking about putting me in a situation. I know I've done nothing to that child. And if the child is feeling like they can do that, that means something's disconnecting there. Because if I'm in that situation, the child's doing that, that means I'm not observing the irritation of the child, and I'm maybe being selfish for the sake of my relationship. The child could just be a bad breed, but in the point that the child feels comfortable to do that, I don't know. I think I need to know more about that particular setup. Who's at fault here? But if it was me in that situation, the dad's needs to fix that child.
I agree. I think like you kind of have to say to the parent, the actual parent, like, this is an issue. But me, I'm not born to suffer in it. I'm not going to suffer on purpose. Bye. Serious. I just want peace. I just want peace. If you can't control your child, why is that going to be my burden? I'm sorry. No about love is making me do that. No way.
Yeah. It's odd. It's strange, because I feel like, because I'm a single parent, you know what I mean? Like, I have to think about it from the flip side. My child ain't talking to no adult like that anyway, because I'll base her in her face and she knows well. Not really. I don't condone hitting children. I just make her feel like I'm going to come at her. But I would expect in that situation for the other person to let me know how my child was carrying on in the first instance, and then I would discipline my child, because there's a few things here. It's like, it's for that parent, as you all said, to make sure that that child has manners around adults, and to then have a discussion about why they feel like they don't want that other person around. the woman in this incident, what she did was she recorded it, but without recording the child's face. So what I would do then, I would show the recording to the parent and say, this is what happened. Maybe it's a discussion that you want to have with your child. Because, you know, the child could be feeling some type of way. Maybe they're feeling neglected. Maybe they don't see their parent. Maybe their parent isn't paying them much attention because this new person's around. There's all these reasons why. I've been a stepchild and it's a difficult situation as that child. So I just think it needs to be addressed.
I think
I'm not men with children.
I think the woman should have removed herself from the equation. Like, it's just, we can still date, but obviously your child is not ready to see you dating somebody else at this moment. So we don't need to have that interaction at this moment in time because they are probably still processing what's going on. And you probably need to spend time, just you and the child, not with a significant other person. I'll just remove myself. It'd be very, you see me when you don't have your kid. It's just like, basically that until maybe they're older or were more serious and were then being introduced as now we're kind of like going into a family setting. But
and also you don't leave your child. You don't, you know, you have to take your time to do things like that, don't you? Like you're just leaving your youth with this person. Like,
well, they're just in a car, innit? I would literally just be like, there's too many alarm bells going off. You need to spend time with your child without a person there. Like, basically. Spend time with them. I just remove myself.
Basically.
And just to answer your question about dating a man, I'll date a guy with children, but have your children patterned in the nicest way possible. And that's it. Any comments?
Ronald says to the previous conversation, as soon as the show is over, I will cut my nails and hack off my rat's tail. Thank you. Nicholas said, was that Louis talking to Kate?
Right.
Literally.
Says, exactly. Get off the balcony.
Mate. Okay, guys. What's made you sad, mad, and glad this week? What has made you sad, mad, and glad? Is it my turn first? I don't even know. I can't find my page.
I think it's me.
It's AK first.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I can't
first.
I'm looking at the running order. It's like
so AK.
It's Farah. It's Auntie Farah.
Oh yeah, it is. It's Farah.
Is it?
It is.
What am I looking at then?
Go on, Fad. It's okay. Go on, Fad.
You're looking at the next page.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I see it now.
Okie dokie. So I am sad that the bouncers at Afro Paradise went on stink yesterday and didn't let me in to celebrate with Auntie Nana on her birthday and the other aunties that were there. So that made me very sad.
Not the organisers, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, not the organisers, the bouncers.
The bouncers.
The venues bouncers. I said the bouncers.
Because like people sometimes conflate the two. So just
people that do that are done because the venue is the venue and the organisers in the event are separate. Just so you lot all know how that shit works. I'm talking about the venue for pitch, their bouncers, whoever it is that they have to manage that facility, were going on stank. And they did not let me in to Afro Paradise to celebrate with Auntie Nana and the other aunties for her birthday, right? But I am also really, really sad because tomorrow marks the 5th anniversary of the Grenfell fire tragedy, and where 72 people died, and there has still been no justice, no arrests, no criminal, no criminal activity. I can't speak, but it's just really, really sad. And there's a silent walk tomorrow for those of you that are interested in joining. It starts at 6:30. So that makes me very sad. I am mad at the High Courts for allowing the demon that is Priti Patel and her racist, hate-filled policy to continue with plans to send the immigrants to Rwanda without their choosing, starting from tomorrow, possibly. I am glad that off the back of that, the protesters in Peckham on the estate were preventing the Popo and the immigration officers from detaining a man. And I'm also really, really glad, but also very, very skeptical at the new breakthrough cancer immunotherapy treatment that has been found at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in Manhattan. Basically, they have found, they've treated a bunch of people and their cancer has not returned. They're all in remission, but I'm skeptical because I would really like people to the powers that be to act on this as quickly as they did with the COVID vaccine. And I just doubt that that's going to happen.
True. You're on mute.
I'm sad that I was on mute. I'm sad because I wasn't feeling well earlier and it annoyed me. And then I had to go and take a lay down and it messed up the rest of my day because I have work to do, man. Unexpectedly felt unwell. But I'm better now. Mad that my journey home from last night took longer than expected, way too long, not unnecessary diversions and too many people. It really pissed me off. But I'm also mad that you just can't trust things. I went to eat a passion fruit the other day and there was a dodgy black seed in it that looked like it was going off. And I kept getting flashbacks of I'd eaten it because I don't know if you've ever eaten a piece of bread that might have mold on it or something that's got something wrong with it. That taste always makes me feel extremely icky and unfortunate. I get flashbacks for ages. So I was really annoyed that you can't just eat something without inspecting it. So it pissed me off. But I'm also very glad, based on, what was the name of that documentary you guys put in the group? Pray, Submit. What was it called?
Keep, Sweet, Pray and Obey.
That's the one. There's a documentary on Netflix that Auntie Farah put in the group. I hadn't watched it, and I started watching it today. And I'm just very, very glad that my mum didn't raise me in a religious cult, because like it's just. Anyway, we probably talk about it maybe next week once we've all watched it. I'll tell you what. Everyone watch it.
We've all watched it, haven't we?
Huh?
We should like discuss it a little bit on Patreon and everyone.
Okay,
yeah. So I need to catch up though. I only watched one episode, but wow, I'm just really grateful because I think there's, we had to go to church and Mum was very very religious, and so if she had any kind of different break in her brain, we could have been in a religious cult. So I'm just really glad that we're not. And I'm also glad my daughter has my baking hands because she's making apple crumble as we speak. And when we finish this show, I'm going to
tell her to send some my way because apple crumble is my favorite.
That is my favorite too.
Okay, Auntie Anna, what's made you sad, mad and glad?
Okay, so my sad is also that Auntie Farah was denied entry at pitch, and the head doorman was super aggressive and very unprofessional. And he was just like so negative from even when we were in the queue. He was just being an absolute asshole. And I really think like when the doormen are super aggressive and negative, that spreads into the venue. I think it's like the worst trait to have when you're running the door, that the doormen just aren't very methodical. You can be cool without being aggressive and like hostile to people. And he had that. And I really want him to lose his job. And then my mad is Archie Battersby is on life support at the moment, and a High Court judge has now ruled that they should switch off his life support machine. And I was watching his family do a press conference just saying like how they're going to appeal it for one, but also they thoroughly believe that he has probably still got life in him, because the ruling was on the medical professional saying that there's a likelihood that he is brain dead. I would need certainty that my child is brain dead before you're switching off the life support. And again, it's only been 2 months, and you always hear of people like coming out of comas and stuff. And sometimes it's like 6 months, 12 months later. And yeah, it just broke my heart. I was getting so angry watching their news conference. That absolutely pissed me off royally. So I do think that you should take the parents' wants into consideration. Overall, glad that I had a lovely birthday weekend. I was in Southend on Saturday, and that was very fun, but very tiring as well, going on all the rides. And then Sunday at Afro Paradise, I absolutely loved it. It was great raving just around the corner from my house, getting there in 10 minutes, being the first one there as well, because I'm so mature now that I'm 42. I get places on time.
Done, man.
I mean,
a real change. Yeah, I'm glad to be this grand royal age as well. I feel like, yeah, this is great. I'm 42, entering into another 7-year cycle. This is the beginning of a new cycle, and I'm putting it out there. This time next year, I really do want podcasting to be my mainstream of income. So I'm putting that out there into the universe. Make it happen. Yeah, if it's ours or mine, whoever wants it, that would be great. So everyone's
throw things in the universe, throw them properly.
If you want it too.
I mean, I'm all about the money,
Auntie Sade, what's made you sad, man, and glad? Guys.
Okay, so sad about Grenfell anniversary. Yeah, it just breaks my heart thinking about all of that, and still nothing really has been done. And we can piss up, was it 2.8 million for Jubilee, but they can't fix the
28 million.
28 million.
I'm sorry, not bad. But they can't, they can't sort this out and prosecute people. It's insane. And some people still haven't been rehoused properly and that sort of thing as well. So it's awful. I am glad that I had like the best weekend ever. On Friday night, I went to Jules' residency at the Jazz Cafe, and that was, it was cool. It was like old school-ish for us, but it was still cool. Bit of a sing-along night. It was really cool. And then on Saturday, I was in the kitchen, guys. Let's say that. I was actually in the kitchen.
Good.
I went with my friend to the market, bought meat and plantains and everything. And she done the majority. Obviously, she done everything. I was just assisting and stuff. But yeah, it was okay. It was all right. I survived. It was all right.
You was working on a food stall?
No. We just cooked a meal, basically.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like, what?
Okay. Yeah, but I don't like the kitchen. So this was an achievement for me. So yeah.
Well done.
Just before we go, shout out. Sorry, have you done all yours?
No, we've got to go.
Sorry, my bad.
And then Afro Paradise on Sunday. So that was really cool. So obviously a bit biased because I know the people that run it, and it was pretty amazing. And I think they're just amazing that they keep pulling off these great events over and over again. And then obviously it was Nana's birthday, which is amazing. And then also Nep's birthday, and Isaac, and Glennis, and who else? Gina's.
Yeah.
And someone else. Like there's a load, like just so many Geminis.
Geminis! Because we the best.
A whole football squad of Geminis. But yeah, it was just such a vibe.
Yeah, and it would have been better if this Gemini was there too.
100%. And my mad is that I literally just can't hold my liquor. I can't drink that much at all. I tried, and it got me into a very giddy state, and I was, talking to people and getting
that is good. You need to do it more often.
Yeah,
I love it.
She was taking shots from the bottle. Like
I saw the clip in the bottle. I was like, oh, I didn't see no less.
All right, Shafari, we're gonna shout someone out.
Sorry, I was just gonna shout out my sister Chrissy. It was her birthday on Saturday, and just shout out to you, love you, my sister, another Gemini up in the place. You know them where it is.
Amazing.
Happy birthday, Chrissy. Let's get a comment.
Okay, so Glennis said the security are foolish. Yes, they are. Gracious Greatness says, you know what? Yeah, I will cut my nails after I find my manicure set and donate them to Auntie Charlotte. Why? So that she can have the longest nails. Like that sister from SWV. Hashtag nails nailing. Nails nailing.
Okay. Imagine.
Although you can keep your nails, that's okay. Candy says, glad I got to see my family in Italy. Sad I made it back to mediocre Britain, and mad I was asked to move my seat on the flight for an entitled hostile couple who wanted to be sat together with their toddlers. I didn't move, and they sat separately with their kids. Also mad at the long queues in the airport arriving back. Yeah, don't move, man. And then lots of happy birthdays from T to Nana to Gracious Greatness, Candice, the
Alcalbalan.
What? Say that again? Alcalbalan Trust says no, Leos are the best. Laugh out loud. But also happy birthday to all the Geminis. And Ronald says not sad, mad, or glad, but intrigued to how you found out. Just like Beyonce has a beehive, Kamala has a K hive.
Oh, does she?
Just like, oh, does she? Okay, cool.
All right. Maybe we'll explore that next week. Okay, so you know, each week we've got a new Spotify weekly playlist. I've just dropped the link in the comments. It's your Aunties Could Never playlist. This week we said songs that make you think of summer. So quickly, my tunes are Summertime. It's an obvious one, but it's just such a freaking classic by the Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff. It's just so good. You smile when you hear it. Burna Boy, yay. That just makes me think of hotness, because especially because me and Auntie Farah were in Santorini the year that it kind of blew up, and it was the anthem of that holiday. So it just makes me think of that. And Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day. It's just one of those,
I like that one.
Cruising down the streets kind of tunes. Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. Okay, Auntie Sade.
So Bobby V, Slow Down, when that came out, I was in New York and it was summertime, so that's always like, it's got like core memory for me. Rick Ross, Here I Am, I just love that tune. Here I Am, just sounds like summer. Ray Black, My Hood, I just think that sounds like summer evenings, do you know what I mean, when you used to be on the block kind of thing, in 6 Week Holiday or whatever. K Camp, Comfortable, again, just love that tune. Like, I just think it just good vibes. And Free Nationals featuring Quinix, Eternal Light. Not necessarily a popular one, but still good vibes. Just make you smile. Yeah, check them out.
Go ahead. Auntie Farah.
Farah?
Auntie Nana, go on.
Okay, all right. So my ones are Days Like This by Shauna Scoffrey. Love that tune. And There's Nothing Like This by Omar. Again, one of my favorite tunes ever. And I Am the Black Gold of the Sun by New Yorican Soul. Again, I just love that tune because it reminds me of myself.
Oh, are you ready?
So mine is it's all soca. So it's balance, because summer to me means carnival. So balance, and that is by JW and Blaze. And then it's family, and that is Skinny Banton, Marshall Mantallo. Sorry.
I'll just do one more comment. So Gracious Greatness says, I'm sad at the Grenfell thing as well. Mad at the immigration thing. Glad that I made Auntie Sade laugh. She's got a sweet laugh. I do think I just love to see all sisters joyful rather than traumatized.
Yay, good one. And your last one, Auntie.
Before my interruption, I was saying Family by Skinny Fabulous, Marshall Mantallo and Bungie Garland. And my last one is Mr. Killer, Pick Up Something and Run With It. That reminds me, all them tree songs reminds me of summer.
All right, check out the playlist. Your Aunties Could Never playlist.
I need that list though, Farah, because I know none of those songs. So
I get that.
I don't need them.
That'll be the Spotify weekly playlist, and we'll come back next week with some more tunes and just listen to it. It's fun. It's a very big mix of who we are. And lastly, Auntie Sade, unpopular opinion. Don't piss me off. Hit list. What's going on?
Mate.
All right, let's move on. Thank you for watching.
Okay.
I would say, but she did it. What she always does.
Again?
Forgot me.
Said she would do your hit list.
Yeah.
I missed that. I didn't know. I forgot you. I missed that. I didn't know you said that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I said that I wanted to do it because I haven't done one for a while. It's not I didn't. It's a little bit hit list. So recommendation stroke hit list. So if you watch Keep, Sweet, Pray and Obey, which is on Netflix, that is my recommendation to you because it is fucking wild. And then on my hit list is Warren Jeffs, who was the leader of the FLDS, who you'll know all about once you watch the documentary. He's on my hit list for all of the fucking disgusting shit that he did while he was head and is still doing from behind bars. And the fact that he could actually be up for parole in 2038, I hate that shit. He's on my hit list.
Yes.
I put it in the comments, a trailer in the comments, and it's on Netflix, as Auntie Farah said. But yeah, it's a mad one. It's a mad one. We will talk about it. Okay, guys. That's it. Thank you for watching. And for those who listen in the future, thank you for listening. This has been Your Aunties Could Never. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media platforms at Your Aunties Could Never. Watch us back on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to our episodes on most, as I said, popular listening platforms. Don't forget to write your reviews on Apple Podcasts and like us on Spotify and leave your comments wherever you need to leave your comments positive ones, by the way. And yeah, help us become rich aunties. Don't forget, we've also got a Patreon. You can sign up to our 3-tier offerings, www.patreon.com/your aunties could never. We'll be back next week. And I think we have a special guest next week. So tune in for that. Later.
Bye-bye now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.